Well, hello everyone. This is Don Smith. I am a Sony Artisan of Imagery Pro member, along with being a Stingray ambassador, two companies I'm very proud to be associated with. And hey, today I just wanted to present a very quick video on my findings of pushing high ISO with the brand new Sony a7S III camera. Barry and I have actually been on a couple of trips lately, and we were up in the Pacific Northwest for about 8 days, and I got to try a lot of video shooting with the camera, especially in the Hoh rainforest and along the Olympic Peninsula, and that was beautiful. And then we came down to Avila Beach, California, which is just south of San Luis Obispo, California. And they have three really cool looking piers, and this first one you're looking at is the Avila Beach Pier. The whole time we were up in the Pacific Northwest, it would rain at night, and I wasn't really able to get out and test night shots. But when we got to Avila, I was able to finally get the camera out and push the ISO and really see what it could do. I started everything at 12,800. And the way I'm going to do this test, so you can just see it with your own eyes, is I'm going to show you the raw file, will be the first shot. And the only thing I did was bumped the temperature to 5100 K across the board just to keep it uniform looking. And then I took the highlight slider and went about -9 just to kind of tone down the highlights in these shots. And everything else is basically just a raw shot, so it really hasn't been processed. Then the second frame I will show you, I went out of Lightroom and applied DeNoise AI, which I absolutely love. And I just put it in the auto detect mode and let it do its thing. So I can tell you, after playing around with this camera, 12,800, you're right on the mark with this camera. There'd be no issues at all for me to go up that high. This is a raw file, again, of the Avila Pier, 12,800. And now I'm going to click over, and I'm going to show you the DeNoise shot at 12,800. Pretty tough to see. These are all at 100%. So that's how I view all my images. Some of you would say, well, why don't you blow up 300, 400, 500%? Well, that's not real world. When editors in the real world are looking at your images, they're looking at it at 100%. So once again, there's the raw. If you look to the left, kind of up in here, you can see a little bit of noise and around up in here. And when we apply the noise reduction, you can see nothing. Okay, so we're going to double these ISOs in full stops. So the next ISO, we're going to double up to 25,600. I went under the Avila Pier, and this was so dark under here, I could barely see past the second set of pilings back there, honestly. And let me go back a frame. You can see the lighting up on the pier. So now I'm standing kind of to the far left bottom of the pier down in here. You can see how dark it is. And the only light that's illuminating is those lights that are up on the pier. I don't know if there's some form of a tungsten or a halogen light. I'm not certain. And I actually put this shot out on a social media page, and somebody said, great sunset shot, even though I explained I was under the pier. At social media. I don't think anybody ever reads what I write. So, but this is the raw file at 25,600. Looks excellent. And that's just run through Topaz DeNoise Auto Detect. And it cleaned it right up. 25,600. That just totally blows me away. And the other thing I want to point out, how good the Sony a7S III is, that autofocused. It actually autofocused and grabbed. I should note that all of these were captured with my Sony 16-35 f2.8 lens, and everything was shot at 2.8 across the board. So this was the first night's tests. I went around and I did other pictures, but I never really went over 25,600. And when I came in the next day and I processed these, I was so blown away. I said, I got to go out the next night. So the next night we went out to a favorite pier of mine that's called Harford Pier. And some people call it the San Luis Bay Pier. This pier just reminds me of a wharf in Capitola, California, where my dad and I used to fish off of. So I don't know, I just felt a real attachment with this pier. So we went up, now this is with the same lens, the 16-35. I actually am noting that I shot this at f8. I'm not sure why, but I did want to get the 51,200, and that's probably why I did it at a short shutter speed. Again, I was testing the noise on this, and really not bad. If you look up in here, you're starting to get some noise, but you know, it's not really objectionable to me. Let's run it through Topaz DeNoise AI. And you know what? 51,200, I wouldn't hesitate to go there. Here's before and here's after. All right, let's keep pushing this. Let's go on up to a 102,400. I mean, for us older photographers, we're getting in the realm of what we couldn't even believe would have ever been possible in our lifetime as far as capturing images. So it is getting fairly noisy now, but again, we're at 102,400 ISO with DeNoise, you know, and if I worked it a little better, I certainly could make a print out of that. You got to remember, when you go to print, a lot of this noise that you may see up in here is going to go away on the print. So, you know, don't get so hung up when you're seeing just a little bit of noise in your shot that it's not going to make a good print, because it will. All right, now let's really put the throttle down and go to 204,800. And now you can see it's really getting pretty noisy. You know, but think about how high we are, 204,800. Let's apply Topaz DeNoise. Yeah, this isn't quite getting it now. But you know, if it's a once-in-a-lifetime shot and you need it to go up and get it, don't hesitate. And then lastly, let's push it as far as this camera will allow us to do, 409,600 ISO. We're nearing 500,000 in the ISO range on these cameras. If this is how good it is now, oh my gosh, I can't even believe what's coming down the pipe. Apply a little DeNoise to it, and you know, I would say maybe if you're in the surveillance business and it's the middle of the night and you need to get just an image of something, that's not bad. And apply a little noise reduction, and there you go. So honestly, gang, in my tests, I would go up very comfortably to 51,200 ISO without batting an eye. And if I needed to, I think the top I would go would be 102,400 if we're staying in full stops. But very comfortable at 51,000, excuse me. I was also doing some images, a third of a stop more at 64,000 ISO, and they were looking very clean. So I hope this shows you, if you're watching this on a smartphone or even a small tablet, it would behoove you to get on a larger computer screen and take a look at it, because I think you'll see the noise a little bit more and a little more realistically. So I hope this helps you out. The Sony a7S III, if you're into astrophotography, it's a great camera, and I'm really not a video person, but I'm learning, and it is an amazing video camera also. I paired it up with a Ronin S2 and just had a great time in the Hoh rainforest up on the Pacific Northwest. And I'll put an attachment of one of those. If you go to my blog site, you'll see one of those videos up on there. Okay, so until next time, this is Don Smith. Hey, get out there, keep creating, keep doing what we can do, and we're going to all get it through this COVID sooner rather than later. And you guys all take care.